For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. President Donald Trump is threatening Russia with tariffs if a deal to end the war in Ukraine isn't reached in 50 days. Christopher Martinez reports.
President Donald Trump has been expressing disappointment with Russian leader Vladimir Putin recently, and on Monday, Trump took it to the next level.
I'm disappointed in President Putin because I thought we would have had a deal 2 months ago, but it doesn't seem to get there. So based on that, we're going to be doing secondary tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. It's very simple. And they'll be at 100%.
Trump also announced a deal to send more military aid to Ukraine without the U.S. paying for it.
We're not buying it, but we will manufacture it, and they're going to be paying for it.
Trump did not announce a dollar amount for the aid or what weapons will be included, though he did mention Patriot air defense missiles. Trump made the announcement during a meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte.
This is really big. This is really big.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who had been berated by Trump in the White House for not saying thank you enough, said, "Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, America." One person who was less impressed by Trump's announcement was House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. He said in a news conference that Trump has, in his words, spent the first 6 months of his presidency playing footsie with Vladimir Putin. Reporting for Pacifica Radio News, I'm Christopher Martinez.
United Nations officials raised the alarm of Israeli settler violence in the occupied West Bank after settlers beat to death an American visiting relatives there. 20-year-old Saif Eldin Masalat of Florida was visiting family in a village when he was reportedly confronted by invading settlers who attacked the village, shot another man, and beat Masalat, then blocked medics from reaching him in time to save his life. Philippe Lazzarini is head of UNRWA, the United Nations Relief Agency for Palestinians.
In the shadow of Gaza, appalling violence is taking place across the occupied West Bank.
He spoke at an international conference in Switzerland Monday. Meanwhile, Dawn, Democracy for the Arab World Now, is calling on the U.S. government and Trump administration to respond to the killing of an American in the West Bank. The Supreme Court is allowing President Donald Trump to pursue his plan to dismantle the Education Department by laying off nearly 1,400 employees. More than 20 U.S. states sued the Trump administration for freezing more than $6 billion in grant funding for after-school care, summer programs, and other services like teacher trainings. Programs for more than 1 million students are at risk as the administration seeks to ensure the programs align with the president's priorities before handing out the cash. California Attorney General Rob Bonta is leading the charge with 23 states.
Already ongoing summer learning programs have been forced to shut down. Thoughtful strategic budgets, staffing plans, and contracts for the upcoming school year hang in the balance. Sadly, this is just the latest in a long string of unlawful attacks on K-12 education. Make no mistake, our kids are the ones who will suffer the consequences and are suffering the consequences.
The suit filed Monday alleges withholding the money violates the Constitution and several federal laws. Congress set aside dollars for the programs at Boys and Girls Clubs, the YMCA, and public schools to provide academic support, enrichment, and childcare. The Boys and Girls Club says its after-school programming at more than 900 clubs this fall is on the brink of closure. Inflation rose last month to its highest level in 4 months, with the cost of gas, food, and groceries increasing, reversing several months of cooling price pressures. The president's sweeping tariffs are also pushing up the cost of a range of goods, from furniture to clothing and large appliances. The Labor Department said consumer prices rose 2.7% in June from a year earlier, up from an annual increase of 2.4%. The U.S. Defense Department announced it will begin using Elon Musk's artificial intelligence, Grok. Politico reports the Pentagon has signed a contract to begin using the AI chatbot. The deal is part of a new federal suite called Grok for Government, which will provide custom AI tools for national security, healthcare, and scientific research. The contract, worth up to $200 million. It comes just days after Grok made headlines for posting anti-Semitic comments that literally promoted Hitler. And Democrats are raising the alarm over an effort in Texas to redraw its congressional district maps to help Republicans keep an edge in next year's midterm elections. There's concern Democratic support could surge in the wake of the GOP tax cuts plan that slashed funding for Medicaid and other social services in exchange for tax cuts for the wealthy. House Minority Leader Democrat Hakeem Jeffries slammed the move on Capitol Hill Monday, calling it a partisan power grab that shows how unpopular Republican policies are with voters.
Trying to convince the American people that they just did something that they're proud of. If that, in fact, was the case, why is the first step that you are taking an effort to rig the Texas congressional map in a desperate attempt to hold on to power?
I'm Christina Onnested reporting for Pacifica Radio.